Today we are matching your zodiac sign with your perfect indie publisher. You have heard me say before that I believe that a lot of small literary publishers have a certain personality or energy or vibe, and that carries through to the type of books that they publish. And I realized the other day there is something else out there that is all about personalities, energies, and vibes. That is your zodiac sign. I am no expert in astrology. I'm not even hobbyist level. I have the bare minimum of knowledge, but what I do know a lot about is small publishers. And after spending several years of spending all my free time digging into these small publishers and the books they publish, I feel like I have a handle on the personality of a lot of them and the kind of books that they tend to publish. And one of my big goals here on this channel is to match you with your perfect publisher. So when you're looking for something new to read, you have a go-to place to find a book. And so I thought today we could do a fun, take it with a grain of salt version of that, where I match your zodiac sign with a publisher. If there's a publisher out there that I think kind of fits in with that cosmic energy. At the very least, it will allow us to dig in a little bit to these small publishers that are pushing boundaries and bringing fresh voices to contemporary literature. So whether you are a fiery Aries looking for bold experimental work, or a thoughtful Pisces looking for dreamy, introspective narratives, I think I have something on this list for you. We're gonna start at the beginning of the zodiac with our Aries friends. Bold and trailblazing Aries matches perfectly in my mind with Coffee House Press, a publisher that is unafraid to take risks, champion innovative and really boundary-pushing literature. They are known for fostering works that challenge convention and spark a lot of conversation. Coffee House Press is a Minneapolis-based publisher that I think satisfies Aries' fiery spirit and love for forging new paths. And their catalog just brims with really daring voices and experimental storytelling. I think 3 possible coffee house books that could pair with Aries' energetic and fearless nature would be Jawbone by Monica Ojeda, Hotel I by Karen Tay Yamashita, and Song for the Unraveling of the World by Brian Evanson, if you're into horror and science fiction. For our grounded Taurus readers, I recommend Dorothy, a publishing project. Like Taurus, Dorothy is consistent, dedicated to quality, and publishes beautiful physical objects. Their books are so elegantly designed, and our Taurus friends are known for liking to surround themselves in their home with things that make them feel good, things that are beautiful. This was one of my favorite pairings to do because one of the people I love most in the whole wide world is a Taurus, so I feel like I know Taurus really well. Dorothy, a publishing project, is one of my very favorite publishers in all the world, so it makes sense that I would put these two together. Tauruses are so down to earth and they are not rushed into anything new. If you know Dorothy, you know that they publish 2 books a year. I think this last year they published 3, but that was an exception. They publish 2 books a year consistently every fall. 2 books. Dorothy publishes experimental prose by mostly women writers, and like the Taurus, they are known for loyalty and perseverance. And one special thing about Dorothy is that they are committed to keeping every single book on their backlist in print. So if that doesn't exemplify the loyalty and perseverance of a Taurus, I don't know what does. 3 books I'd recommend from the Dorothy catalog would be The Complete Stories by Leonora Carrington, The Long Form by Kate Briggs, and Creature by Amina Kane. Next up we have Gemini. Gemini was the first and easiest pairing that I made on this list. If you are familiar with the lively Columbus-based indie press $2 Radio, then you will know why it is a perfect match for our curious, witty, and multifaceted Gemini friends. $2 Radio consistently publishes clever, boundary-pushing works that really resist categorization. From what I have learned about Geminis, they tend to love the spotlight. And if you take one look at $2 Radio's website and their books, you will see a burst of color. You will also see the tagline, "Too loud to ignore." Also, $2 Radio doesn't just publish books, they actually produce films. Our Geminis and $2 Radio, perfect together. 3 books from $2 Radio that you might want to check out are Us Fools by Nora Lang, They Can't Kill Us Until They Kill Us by Hanif Abdurraqib, and The Red-Headed Pilgrim by Kevin Maloney, which hands down my favorite book cover of all time. Our nurturing and intuitive Cancer aligns so beautifully in my mind with Tin House Books, which is a publisher known for heartfelt and evocative stories. A lot of stories with really deep characterization. In my mind, that's what I think when I think about Tin House. I especially love their short stories and how so many of their writers are able to achieve that deep characterization through a short story. They have a reputation for amplifying unique voices and championing works that really tug at your soul. Tin House also, thinking about that nurturing aspect of the Cancer sign, Tin House is renowned for its writing workshop and its commitment to nurturing young and beginning writers in order to really foster a community of writers who learn together and who support each other. And I just think that's a perfect pairing for the Cancer sign. It's a publisher filled with sensitivity and creativity, which is perfect for this water sign's love of depth and artistry. From Tin House, try Fire Exit by Morgan Talty, Nonfiction by Julie Meyerson, and Dearborn by Ghassan Zenedine. Leo. I had a really hard time picking a publisher for Leo, actually, but in the end I went with Grey Wolf because Leo is known for confidence and leadership, and Grey Wolf is another Minneapolis-based publisher that is an absolute leader among independent and nonprofit publishers. They embody Leo's artistic boldness and their leadership qualities. They publish work that demands attention, like a Leo, and challenges conventions. Leos, like Grey Wolf books, stand out in a crowd. 3 recommendations from Grey Wolf that I will share are Bluff by Danez Smith, I'm a Fan by Sheena Patel, and The Trees by Percival Everett. For Virgo, we're going across the pond to the UK, and for the methodical and analytical Virgo, I could think of no better publisher than Fitzcarraldo Editions. With their distinctive blue and white covers, they reflect Virgo's true appreciation for clean aesthetics. But not just that, they also have such intellectually rigorous works of literary fiction and essays, and that, I believe, satisfies Virgo's hunger for precision and intellect and deep analysis. They have a beautifully and carefully curated list that includes many a Nobel Prize winner, and that exemplifies Virgo's devotion to excellence. People trust a Virgo, readers trust Fitzcarraldo. 3 books you possibly might want to check out are Cold Enough for Snow by Jessica Au, Minor Detail by Adania Shibli, and pretty much anything by Annie Ernaux. For our graceful and charming Libras, we're going to stay in the UK, and I'm going to recommend none other than Persephone books. Libras are deeply attuned to the beauty of life's subtleties, and Persephone is renowned for their exquisite reissues of neglected 20th century women writers. They have an emphasis on elegance, on literary quality and emotional depth, and their catalog, I think, speaks to Libra's love of balance and aesthetics, and also insightful narratives. If you've seen Persephone's bookshop or their beautiful, beautiful books with stunning end papers, you know that this is a perfect match. 3 books you might want to check out are Doreen by Barbara Noble, Miss Pettigrew Lives for a Day by Winifred Watson, and Greenbanks by Dorothy Whipple. Scorpio. Scorpio gave me endless trouble. Scorpio is the sign I am most familiar with, I most identify with, because someone I know very well is indeed a Scorpio, and not a single publisher seemed to fit the Scorpio perfectly. And yet there was a huge list of publishers that could fit the Scorpio. So Scorpios are mysterious and transformative. They are deeply introspective and also love uncovering hidden truths. All of this is true. In the end, I decided to match Scorpio with Deep Vellum, which is a Dallas-based publisher that specializes in literary works from around the world. They are committed to international literature, but they are also committed to literature from the US and specifically from Texas, where they're based. Something about the Deep Vellum story really spoke to me as a Scorpio, the commitment of their founder to establishing a place in Dallas where people who wanted to discuss literature could go. That just speaks to me. Something about a lot of the books in their catalog also speaks to a Scorpio's interest in really dark, complex themes that, again, are deeply introspective and speak to the nuances of the human experience. So for the Scorpio's passionate and unflinching spirit, I would try from Deep Vellum, The Book of Eve by Carmen Bulosa, The Understory by Sane Sangsuk, and the most Scorpio title, I think. The Book of Eve probably has the most Scorpio cover and the perfect Scorpio title, although The Understory is actually a very Scorpio title. The last suggestion, get on with it, Scorpio lady. It's The End of the World, My Love by Alla Gorbanova. And we might come back later for more Scorpio suggestions in another video. Sagittarius was another immediate match in my mind. The adventure-seeking Sagittarius pairs so perfectly with transit books. They are focused on international voices and boundary-crossing narratives, and that perfectly matches Sagittarius's love of exploration and philosophical inquiry. This is an Oakland-based publisher that brings stories from around the world to English-speaking readers, and that perfectly satisfies Sagittarius's endless wanderlust and quest for wisdom. From their logo itself with that cute little boat all the way to their catalog every single year, perfect match for Sagittarius. Maybe give a try to I Who Have Never Known Men by Jacqueline Hartman, Gifted by Suzumi Suzuki, and Kintu by Jennifer Nansubuga Makumbi. The ambitious Capricorn aligns perfectly with none other than New Directions. Capricorns have a deep respect for tradition and also a determination to excel. And if that doesn't scream New Directions, I don't know what does. New Directions balances their historic legacy as one of America's most prestigious independent publishers with a continued drive to innovate and publish really excellent experimental boundary-pushing literature. Their commitment to excellence and their enduring literary value matches Capricorn's disciplined pursuit of mastery. It seems very silly to pick 3 books from New Directions to list here. We're gonna do it. And I will share Counter Narratives by John Keane, The Last Samurai by Helen DeWitt, and because I can and because so many of you said that you picked up this book after hearing me talk about it in other videos, Annual Banquet of the Grave Diggers Guild by Matthias Enard. For the humanitarian Aquarius, I think Archipelago Books is the perfect match. This is a Brooklyn-based non-profit publisher that is committed to bringing vital works of world literature to English-speaking readers. And this mirrors Aquarius's desire to break down those cultural barriers that are so easy to blind us to the world around us. Archipelago is known for their ambitious translation projects, and that really embodies the Aquarian ideal of using innovation to serve humanity while serving as a student of human nature, which I think Archipelago's books all do. They also have such immediately identifiable cover art from Archipelago, and even their book dimensions are so petite and unique, and I think that does a lot to highlight the very independent and original-minded Aquarius. 3 books from Archipelago you might want to check out are What Kingdom by Finay Grabal, Kibogo by Scholastique Mukasonga, and Eastbound by Melis de Carangal. Finally, for our deeply empathetic Pisces, I chose Milkweed. Pisces are known for their deep connection to nature and sensitivity to the world around them. Milkweed is yet another Minneapolis-based publisher, and so much of their catalog is books that explore humanity's connection to nature and our relationship with the natural world, but also their books explore the deepest currents of the human experience. And this is perfect for the Pisces fluid, boundary-dissolving nature. While preparing for this, I learned that some astrologers believe that Pisceans are linked to the spiritual world and have experienced other lives in the past, and that immediately made me think of Milkweed's Seed Bank series, in which they are creating and reviving and indeed banking, like a seed bank, banking literary work to preserve it for generations to come. And to me, that just feels like reincarnation, that feels like past lives and ensuring that there is continuity among the generations. So again, I feel like this is a great match. 3 books that I think any Pisces would love from Milkweed would be The Hurting Kind by Ada Limon, Perma Red by Deborah Magpie Erling, and of course, the beautiful Braiding Sweetgrass by Robin Wall Kimmerer. Thank you for indulging me in this new opportunity to try to pair you with your perfect publisher. I hope I got it right, at least for some of you out there. And at the very least, I hope I put some books and publishers on your radar that maybe you already knew about, but maybe it was time for a refresher, that there are amazing books out there in the world from amazing small publishers. If you're into this kind of thing, I'll leave a link to my newsletter in the description below. Every month I send a couple of big long emails with lists of books published by small publishers the month before. Thank you so much for joining me today. My name is Sarah, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye.